and we're delighted to have with us Terri Scriven, who's the head of hospitality for Google UK, hailing from, I seem to remember, San Diego in the good old United States. So I'll introduce Terri to come to the stand, and she's going to build on some of the conversations you've heard already, okay? Terri Scriven, thank you. Okay.
Thank you so much for having me today. So absolutely plan on building on a lot of what we've already heard from Nick, from Jeremy, some of the other conversations earlier. And I'm going to talk about the future of online travel and really how to inspire and target that savvy consumer here in Scotland. And if I could predict, if the search bar could predict the future of online travel, I think I would be a wealthy woman. And I know Google, tries their best to try to give answers to the questions that you're looking for. But I'm first going to start off with a little video showcasing some of the fun things that we're working on and more things you're going to see in the future. To you about three key themes that are really defining how we currently go through the travel journey of being inspired, researching, planning, booking, some of the things that Nick talked on about today, but three key things that influence how we ultimately choose where we want to go and how we experience where we actually visit and stay. So connectivity, content, and cues. So the first area of connectivity, so 5% to 50%. So what is this? It's about mobile connectivity. So just 3 years ago, we used our mobile phones to search and also begin to experience and find and plan our travel booking. Now it's even over 50%. So even over the Christmas holiday period, it kind of continued to balance between kind of 50, 60, and sometimes even 65% of overall searches happen from a mobile device. So it's astonishing the change that has happened as a result of increased connectivity over the last 3 years. Now 69% of UK consumers use their smartphones to go online every day. And we use the term snacking moment. So how many of you use their smartphones during little bits, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, during the time of the day to look up various things or even plan your next holiday? Would that be almost all of us? Absolutely. So we are representative of those. We've done a survey, a study last year, and I'm going to showcase a few key stats on that survey. But it's, we use that over 69% in spare moments, such as when we're waiting and we're commuting, or while doing other activities, watching TV being one, and the complementary effect of using your smartphone on the couch while you're watching TV, doing quick searches, and 77% usage of smartphone for travel inspiration in spare moments. Now, of the usage of smartphones, 83% of travelers had a poor experience. So Nick mentioned this, and this is the survey that actually reinforces that stat. And only 23% of those who've encountered issues continue planning on mobile. So you lose a significant percentage of consumers if your mobile site is not fit for purpose. This is a huge call to action. Of the clients that I work with, only 50 now, is increasing closer to 60%, have mobile sites that are fit for purpose. So imagine the other 40% are losing their consumers. And they're actually losing it throughout every stage. So they go to a competitor site, they'll complain on social media, so that reputation absolutely matters. They'll stop using the brand altogether, 13%, or they'll tell friends and family. So that mobile site is incredibly important. And we're seeing the usage of that much further up the journey. So using your mobile using during smart, as we said, snacking moments. And we see the cross-device behavior of actually booking on another whether it's a tablet or a desktop device, once they get home and are able to talk to their family about it. So you can't measure mobile the same as you do in terms of conversions the way you do with desktop today. It's paramount that you have a responsive or adaptive site to allow the user to learn more about your destination. So connectivity, so there are increasing numbers of devices that are allowing us to become connected to the internet. So through search, through voice search now, through your computer, through your car. So there's Android Auto, and a lot of other recent auto manufacturers have announced connectivity in their car, cameras, wearables, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit more about wearables. And 29% of UK consumers use 4 or more devices. So I'm going to give a little props to the person who has the most devices. So why don't we, in terms of who has 4 or more devices? So raise your hand. So it is about, well, it's more than 29% now in this room, so almost 40%. Keep your hands up. 5 or more devices. 6 or more devices. We've got some savvy. I want to find out what those other devices are because I showed 6. Yeah, it's astonishing, and how many chargers you need to bring with you when you travel now based on all these devices you have. Now, wearables being kind of the new entree into the device market, it's really interesting now that wearables is all about having the experience without getting in the way of the experience. So Google Glass is an example of that, and is a testament of that, where you are truly having the experience and driving down the street or deciding to get out and you recognize, wow, there's a balloon company just there without actually getting in the way of the experience itself. You don't have to get on your phone and search and find out, okay, what's that company over there? It's actually there right in front of you. Or even understanding the history, of the surrounding area of places that you're looking at. So wearables actually and Google Glass, there are a number of use cases that have been very successful. Virgin Atlantic has been very successful with their VIP lounge of helping users find out what to do when they get to the destination airport or things to do when they arrive. They're investigating it to use on cruise ships. But even more examples of this, not only in the travel space, but in the medicine, within medicine and within surgery, of the true examples of not only being connected, but being more informed. And wearables in terms of watches. I mean, I have one, we were talking about it last night over dinner. How many of you have a smartwatch or a watch, like one of these guys? Very few. And with Apple's recent announcement, it's come out, I think it absolutely will start picking up, and the game will pick up more. We announced our Android Wear last May at Google I/O, and there are increasingly more developers and apps now out there. But it's a time saver. I use it actually surprisingly frequently, because now I'm on the road, I have an 18-month-year-old, I don't have the time so quickly to be able to reply to my husband via text message on voice, know where I'm going, what my next meeting is, where I need to be. I can see the latest, sports scores, the navigation, it actually shows me where I need to go if I'm navigating somewhere. It's a time saver, and it's not interrupting my experience. And I don't have to be notified all the time. I could choose to be, but I don't have to be. And now it looks as cool as a nice watch. And this is the new Huawei thing that they just announced at Mobile World Congress that just come out. So there are more and more developments around this, and you'll see that increasing over the course of the next year, and penetration will pick up. And here's just a fun video showing the latest on Android Wear.
Well, everyone is minus, you could call me multiply. Just so you know, yes, I'm that guy. This is me on the regular, so you know. Yeah, you know that I go. This is me on the regular, so you know.
So you'll see more fun things along those lines. Now getting into content. So 60%, now 60% is the number of consumers that engage with online video as part of their travel researching or their overall journey. And I'll get into more stats about that. So it's quite an important aspect, and we're going to see this substantially increasing over the course of the next several years. In fact, Oracle came out with a recent study sharing that they feel online video will be more important than social media and social networking in 2017, where I would see almost a merger. We actually talked about this last night as well, a merger of online video and social very much becoming one. And this stat, in the next 3 years, I see will be above 85%. Now, content, before we even get into video, we're seeing an evolution of content personalization through websites, whether it's whether it's on your smartphone, tablet. This is just an interesting new company that's just recently launched called Peak around destinations and destination activities, but actually provide personalized recommendations based on what you choose, what you've been searching for, and evaluate your behavior on their site. I showcase them because I liked their interface. It'd be great if they started to showcase Scottish destinations. So interesting conversations with them. And Top 10 is another great example. They are a new entrant into the online travel agency market, where they provide personalized hotel recommendations based on your interests, what you like, and showcase other really great engaging content on Instagram, basically integrate blog posts and TripAdvisor. There's quite a lot of content that they showcase. And their responsive site is amazing, their app is amazing, but the coolest thing about this is how it's personalized. The theme I'm going to kind of move to is more around the audience. So I think the audience and the importance of knowing who your audience is and targeting them needs to be all integrated, not only into content, but also into how you target them. And programmatic, I'll get into cues, is my third area shortly. I want to build on Jeremy's presentation earlier on maps. Maps is absolutely becoming richer in terms of content, and we're using it for so many ways now, not only to figure out how to get from point A to point B, but also to find what you're looking for, to book a hotel. You can now, did you know, book a hotel through Google Maps. Here's maps through Google Earth. And Mayfair Hotel, you just search in Mayfair Hotel, and now you can actually choose April 20th to April 21st, and I can actually go and book a hotel, or click to book. You click to either go to the hotelier site or to an OTA and book through them. And there's the Explore feature so that you can explore the neighborhood around you. Google Views. Did anyone know Google Views existed? No. There's a lot out there you don't know about that is free. Free and accessible through the Google API that you should absolutely take advantage of. Now this is a panoramic view, and there's a lot of other street view imagery that you can explore that is all free, and you can also upload your own photospheres. Now there's a photosphere app on iPhone, but it's already integrated into the Android devices. So if you have Android, you can take a photosphere, it kind of leads you through the picture. And it's not 360 degree, but there's also this 360 degree option as well. And then you're able to view that photosphere through upload and view through Google Views. So this allows for consumers to upload and gain that more dynamic experience in a map and view where they are in the map. And this leads to the photosphere. So they've done a photosphere of the Natural History Museum, and again, it adds to the overall richness of the experience. And you can be an armchair tourist. So, you know, just as Jeremy was showcasing earlier, on a tablet, there you are sitting there, and you're able to experience a view within Edinburgh and showcase their specific locations through the Explore feature. That almost shows like a picture of where these specific things are. You go, click in, you can actually not only see photosphere views of them, but pictures, imagery, and it's a much more dynamic experience, again, that you can integrate into your site all for free. Now, Street View and Google Business View is a really interesting opportunity for you to showcase your business and your even the inside of your business in a way that the consumers can interact with. I'm going to showcase an experience here that Royal Caribbean has done. They were the first to use Street View to provide a tour of the ship. So what it allows you to do is, in essence, the 360-degree tour where you can lead it as though you're walking on the ship using Street View, and you can do a tour of all the various aspects of the ship. You can pan sideways, and you can see the entire deck, you know, as this example showcases. But there are third-party contractors, and there's a list on the Google Business View site that you can work with, and it's actually very cost-effective. So my dad is a non-for-profit organization in San Diego, California. It's a history. It's a museum. And they've used Business View to do a tour of their museum. And it was as inexpensive as, I think, $1,000 for them to hire this contractor. And what that contractor does is take all the images and then uploads and does all the coding and tagging of the Street View imagery so that it can be loaded and found within Google Maps. It's really cost effective and something you should think about. So Google Business View. Geo Vegas is an example where it really takes that Maps interactivity to the next level, and it integrates both video content but also maps into the overall experience. So you can choose a journey through Vegas, and I encourage you to go to the it's www.geovegas.com, and you can go and do a tour, first timers, food fantasy, only in Vegas, and you can explore hotels on the map. But also you can get into restaurants, shows, pools, spas, and attractions, and it overlays video content as well as the Business View, 360-degree Street View that you're doing as you're walking through a hotel. And this is an example in the Ghost Bar. You can drag up and down to look around and even kind of edge to the outside to see outside. It's really quite a cool interactive experience. Now, virtual reality is the other key content evolution we're seeing, and that will evolve continually over the next 3 years. Now, what we've done is a little play on virtual reality. We've done a very cheap and cheerful view of virtual reality in a cardboard. This costs $20, and the most expensive part of this actually is the magnet that's right here on the side. And you put your phone in here, and you can basically, it unfortunately dragged my battery down earlier, but I'll maybe show it to a couple of you later on. as I charge my phone. But it allows you to basically do a tour. You can do a load of photosphere or an image. We say it's like the Queen's Gallery is a good example in here, where you can do a tour of going up and down and all around, and even as you walk, you're walking into the gallery. And it's just a different immersive experience. We launched it at I/O last year, and now developers are developing apps, and there are apps available to view within Google Cardboard. Cheap and cheerful, fun, interactive, and totally other way to engage content. We work with Center Parks, actually, to have an overall view of specific aspects of the Center Parks park, and it's a really great engaging experience. And video content is an inspiration. I want to showcase, leading to kind of picking up on several of the examples that Nick showcased. I'm going to showcase two here. One is a wonderful first Scottish example, a Scottish adventurist, Danny McCaskill, and how inspiring it is to be able to use video to not only showcase a destination, but allow you to feel the emotion and learn more about where you're heading. So, 4 minutes. I don't know if any of you have seen this video. I'm amazed by Danny McCaskill. I think he's just incredible and gutsy. Sponsored by Red Bull here, but it's just incredible not only how this video now has had, he's had now several videos, but this video has had over 30 million views on YouTube. And overall, not only building his brand, but I mean, how does he do that? But we had a discussion yesterday with Visit Scotland, and there's lots of opportunities to showcase and even link to and showcase other quality content that it's already out there and that exists to bring you back and get you much more inspired by the Isle of Skye and the landscape around you. So that is an absolute wonderful best case example, but over 30 million views. And the next is Jack's Gap. Now this is a video blogger company that now has over 1 million subscribers to their channel.
The following is a tale of 7 friends who embarked on an epic adventure across India. They would travel 3,500 kilometers across the country at breakneck speed. Well, maybe not breakneck. But that did not matter, as they would be armed with a German-engineered, hand-crafted, 3-wheeled, 7-horsepower, glorified lawnmower, otherwise known as the humble tuk-tuk.
Cheers. I'm a little concerned about the fact that this is the first time that all 7 of us have got together. Like, what if some of the guys don't get on? It's going to work is that everyone's bringing a little point-and-shoot camera, like the one we're filming on today, and as of today everyone's going to start filming on their cameras for the next 3 weeks, and we're going to try and document every moment of what happened for the next 3 weeks.
And so they prepared for an adventure of a lifetime. It was exciting.
Dude, I'm so excited. We're literally minutes away from starting the race. Everyone is really excited.
Are you excited?
I'm literally so excited. I'm like bubbling with excitement.
That guy's excited.
I'm literally shaking. We're about to travel across India.
That was nice. Now for the good stuff.
So this is a really great example of how to use content in an engaging way to tap into an existing subscriber base relatively inexpensively. These guys have built up as being video bloggers. They're a partner with YouTube. But we can help to identify other video bloggers or partners out there that you can engage with to develop content for you. And they would showcase it on their site, on their channel, but as well as yours, or you can also showcase it on your website to drive viewership. The overall strategy is important to think about. So they did this as an episode, or a series of episodes. And over time, you're telling a story. You're telling a story. This one was about India in particular, so Incredible India partnered with them to do that. But there's other really wonderful examples of quality video bloggers out there that you can work with. Turkish Airways did one recently. They hired 7 different video bloggers to showcase different aspects and different journeys that were taken using Turkish Airways, the destinations they went to. And again, all engaging and telling a story, but building your brand awareness by tapping into that audience. So in terms of other stats, the overall engagement with travel-related videos just in the past 6 months, and I showcased earlier, over 60%, but over 97% of those travelers watched online video did so within the last month. So it's becoming that much more part of the overall journey. And not only as an inspiration early on in the journey, we're actually seeing it all throughout the journey. So when thinking about taking a trip, when thinking about what type of trip to take, and actually using it when looking for ideas. So it's important that you integrate that all into your video content development strategy. And I want to give you a couple of takeaways and almost an idea of how you can think about online video for your organization. So some people just use YouTube to save and store the videos that you've developed. I don't know if that's good enough, because how are people actually going to find those videos? So what we're recommending is that you employ, and you do this over time, you have the answer right away. But some of my clients use video in specific hero moments. So think of hero moments as a campaign activity. So you have a big burst campaign activity. You might have one video, or you may say you have 5 videos, 1 video for each customer segment that you're looking to attract. And you do hero moments in content. That could be similar to a TV ad, or this is a much cheaper way of doing it. It's not a TV ad, but specific peaks of activity. Then the second aspect I'd encourage you to employ is hygiene. So hygiene are things like guides, tutorials. It answers the question that people are searching for. So it could be a city guide about Edinburgh, it could be how to pack a bag, it could be what people are interested, what specific activities to do while in Edinburgh. And you answer that question through hygiene content, and you employ best practices around how you tag that content so people do find it in the YouTube search results. And there's a YouTube Content Creators Playbook that's free. You guys should download it. And that provides a lot of best practices, tips and tricks on how to upload, tag, and promote your content. So hygiene's the next area, and that kind of bubbles along. And then Hub, it builds over time. So I like to think a good example for Hub are episodes, are different stories that you're telling to your target consumer base over time. And that builds the overall content that you have on your channel over time so that you ultimately have a richer destination for people to go. And you can link a lot of that, obviously, to your website to ensure that over time you're telling a story to your target customer base and that audience. So a really nice way to think about your video strategy. And based on the nature of the platform, it really is great because it doesn't have restrictions in time, there's no limitations on schedule, and there's now quite a lot of richness in terms of data and YouTube analytics that allows you to see what demographics, what interest categories are people also looking at when they're watching your video. It hones in on, also you can test content. So you could upload your video, test creative. So, we've seen the viewership drop at 15 seconds. Well, why is that? What was in the video? Where do you want to put your brand messaging in the video? Well, you should put it within the first 5 seconds. And there's a lot of other formats that you should, that you can test just by, uploading and testing it in this type of way. And again, reinforcing, ensuring you're enabling a conversation. All right, the last area I'm going to talk about is cues. Now, this is building on what I talked about around personalization and ability to better target your audience. Now, 82% is a study that eMarketer has recently done saying that a consumer would be willing to receive offers if they were targeted to them. So it's actually quite surprising, and especially the millennials and Gen X are much more likely to not be interrupted by targeted content and are actually willing to receive it if it's much more personalized and targeted to you. So key to think about. Now, context is king, so context being place, time, and it's very important when you're thinking of a mobile device that you employ context. But you think of cues are absolutely key. So some examples of cues, they're really signals. Signals around data and analytics that you are utilizing when you're doing your targeting. So thinking about travel dates, destination, time of day, travel purchase, past purchases, utilizing all of this data to better inform your audience, who you're targeting, when you're targeting, how you are. So over time, you're optimizing that savvy, to attract that savvy consumer. And one great example of utilizing signals is Google Now. So I don't know how many of you use Google Now. It's actually on your iPhone devices. It's an app. It's within the Google app. And allows you, and with Android, it's already built into the home button. You just push it and it comes up. And it's been out now for about 2 years, and I've absolutely loved it, but it continues to improve over and over, and especially when you're traveling and on the road. It's context-based. It knows where I am. It shows me the currency. Basically, it shows me the value of the currency. It has Google Translate built into it. It shows me things to do nearby, videos, or it has links to pictures, and you can link into the pictures, not videos. But it also allows you to get directions with integrated with maps as well. It's a great example of the use of signals to showcase relevant data to help you find what you're looking for. And these are just other examples. There's now integrated tickets, so barcode and ticketing to be able to check in is now all integrated. So I was really surprised about a month ago when I went to check in to BA that my ticket was actually already there after I checked in with my app. So those are the 3 areas: connectivity, content, and cues. Not only show us how today we're engaging with online content, but will absolutely impact how we're going to do so in the future. I showcased a lot of key recent stats that we've done, but hopefully some key takeaways and strategies for what you should think about around targeting that audience and being much more personalized. And it is all about finding the right people, telling great stories, and building stronger relationships, and utilizing more and more online video because of the engaging nature of that, to be able to do that. And implore cues or signals, data, and I know big data is the key buzzword, but utilize that data within whatever analytics tool that you have to analyze your audience, build segmentations, and tell stories and customize those stories to them. Don't just go out with one blast message. Customize your stories to your audience. Leave you with a last video on what the future might be over the course of the next 2 years.
That does that?
Morning, kids.
Not fine, I'm like the others.
Okay, Google, what's the England score?
Okay, Google, open garage.
Thank you very much.